Hey, what's up? Some bakers think if they add a tiny amount of yeast to their sourdough bread recipe, they might achieve better bread with more oven space. Although it's against authenticity and it's kind of breaking the rules, does it make a big difference? Let's find out together, shall we? Start with a smaller bowl in the kitchen because we're gonna make mini sourdough. For my first dough, I have 3 gram salt, 110 gram water, mixy, 30 gram active starter fed 5 hours in advance, mixy again, and last but not least 150 gram bread strong flour. Nothing fancy, my regular sourdough bread recipe. Mix everything together until there is no more dry spots. Once you have a shaggy dough, something like this, cover it up and let it rest for 30 minutes. I'm gonna cover this one with dark blue plates. For the second dough, except tiny amount of yeast, which I feel so guilty about it, everything would be the same. Second dough, done. Also gonna rest for 30 minutes. And I'm gonna use light blue plate for this. 30 minutes later, this is my regular sourdough. And of course, this is the one I add the yeast. I mean a pinch of yeast. I'm gonna give both of these bad boys 2 sets of stretch and fold with 30-minute rest between each sets. I'm gonna get fancy, grab the dough a couple of times and try to round it up inside the bowl. First dough done. And my yeasty second dough. "30-minute rest. And this is how my first dough look like after first set of stretch and fold and 30-minute rest. It's already more elastic. My second dough, regular sourdough with tiny amounts of yeast. Almost the same. Except some of these tiny bubbles. Do you see that? I think a bit more fermentation going on here. I'm gonna let them rest for 45 minutes this time. And now time to start 2 sets of coil fold. Of course with 45-minute rest between each sets. My regular sourdough feels about the same. And my yeasty dough, I can say it's a little bit more sticky. Just little bit. Another 45-minute rest and another set of coil fold. After second set of coil fold, I'm gonna let them finish their bulk fermentation for up to 2 hours. My room temperature is around 26 degrees Celsius. And now, after 2 hours, finally I see a major difference. The yeasty dough rises a little bit more and it's puffier than my normal sourdough. Let's bring them on the counter. Start with my first regular sourdough. And I'm gonna round them up with the help of the surface, and this called pre-shape. Again, the second dough, the yeasty dough, feels a bit more sticky. But both look quite good to me. Rest for 20 minutes on the counter, uncover. And now sprinkle little flour. Time to shape these bad boys. Start with my regular sourdough. Feels nice and puffy, hold its shape. Everything okay. I'm gonna give them a simple shape. First one done into the banneton. And the second dough, little bit more airy, but totally fine. It's about the same, I can tell. Second dough done into the banneton. I'm gonna let them rest for 10 minutes on the counter, then transfer them into the fridge for overnight proof. And the next beautiful day, as you can see, I marked the yeasty one
with my beautiful rope. And here you are. I think now we see the major difference. The yeasty dough feels much more puffy, and I can say with 20% more rice. And this is my regular mini sourdough. Do you see the difference? On a baking paper, and it's scoring time. Again, the yeasty one feels a little sticky. I think there is a risk of overproof for this one. I'm happy it didn't happen to me. One simple score, my regular dough. I'm gonna make sure it's deep enough. And the second dough, again, feels a bit sticky to score. I'm gonna carefully give it one more deeper score. Bake them at 230 degrees Celsius for 20 minutes. This is my oven adjustment if you wish to know. I have a complete video on this. You can check it out on my channel. And after 20 minutes, I'm gonna transfer them to the upper rack, remove the steam and bake for another 20 minutes, this time at 215. I'm gonna ask you, what do you think about this crust? Do you think it's burnt or you're okay with this? Anyway, I'm gonna let them cool down and then we're gonna cut them and see what we got inside. But both mini bread look gorgeous to me. We can see the difference of the size. The yeasty one rises a little bit more. About the crust, of course, both have a very nice crust, thanks to my oven adjustment. First, let's see what we got inside my regular mini sourdough bread. Beautiful, nice open crumb. Our guilty bread. Interesting. Very nice crumb. I can say a little bit more open crumb. What do you think? Not authentic with pinch of yeast. Authentic regular sourdough bread. What about the taste? My favorite part. Let's try the yeasty one first. Quite nice. Nothing different, I guess. And my regular mini sourdough. Of course it's nice. If I want to be honest with you, I don't see any difference, so I'm not gonna add yeast to my sourdough bread recipe. What about you? Let me know in comment section. Like always, keep baking and take good care of yourself.